Before the production of the film noir, we researched typical conventions of a film noir, which are a narrator, crime, betrayal, low-key lighting, male heroes and femme fatales. It develops these and other conventions as real-life film noir themes are present in the story, such as illegal businesses, murder and secrecy. The film develops these typical film noir conventions as the setting is modernised into the present-day office instead of typical time during the 1940s. However, certain important forms have remained present, such as black trench coat, smart blazer jacket, black trousers, general dark clothing and black brogue shoes. My media product also challenges these forms due to classical film noirs typically having male characters as heroes and females present only to be rescued by the males. This is challenged as no male characters are in the film's opening sequence. It uses the conventions and forms of real media products as the titles on the film's opening clip are also present in fully finished modern films. Also, the director title is the last of the opening sequence in film noirs like Seven. Therefore, when I added these titles to a film, I imitated this so it then conformed more to the film's conventions. It represents only high-earning female characters throughout the opening sequence. The media product represents social groups of women to oppose the gender stereotypes, as unlike classical film noirs, they are not relying on men to dominate the film. Additionally, the media product shows these high-class social groups playing what would typically be a male's role. For example, the women in the film's opening sequence all help to control a business. They additionally appear smart as they are wearing business clothing, which is unusual for a social group of females, especially in a film noir. Furthermore, when the film noirs are usually set around 1940 to 1950, women did not have jobs and relied on males. However, this is modernised as the women are having successful careers, combined with the lack of male presence in the scene suggests males are inferior in this film, which may make the film aim more towards females in comparison with the typical film noir's target audience. The females in the opening sequence are dominating, as although if the film was produced to a fully finished film, males would be present and only female speech is used in the opening.
I think that an independent filmmaker who has experience in the distribution of films would dispense the media product. However, the filmmaker we use is more likely to not have made any larger famous films previously to the distribution of the film. In modern times, not many film noirs are released, especially a film noir which has been already slightly to be set in the modern times. This makes the film fairly easy to market and distribute because the audience can easily associate with their environment in the film, as it is similar to modern day surroundings. Furthermore, with this being the first film we made, it would be unlikely that it would be distributed by a large company with a vast amount of success. Due to more successful film noirs are produced and distributed by large companies to secure the success of the film, such as LA Confidential, which was produced and distributed by Warner Brothers, among others. I believe that the cinematography and editing that we used is simplistic, therefore it is more suited to an independent filmmaker. I believe that this film would not be suitable to be developed into the creation of merchandise regarding the visual style of the film. I created the mise-en-scene based around both Seven and LA Confidential, using low lighting and small plan office rooms.
The audience for this media product would be primarily aimed at the target audience of people aged between 15 and 25 of both genders, as males would be attracted by the storyline and the themes of the story, which were mainly female characters and would attract females. However, I also believe that the target audience would be interested as they would concentrate largely on the plot and film storyline. Previously to shooting and planning our film noir, we watched LA Confidential, which is rated as an 18. However, the film noir we created is less violent, therefore the age rating of our film will be a 15. The two films share a pessimistic theme, although our film noir would appeal to the same audience as LA Confidential.
The audience is firstly attracted by the film's mysterious storyline and synopsis. The target audience, aged between 15 and 25, would be interested in the film because of the illegal aspects within the storyline, such as illegal business, murder and mystery. Additionally, the audience would be interested in the unfolding of the plot, specifically the plot would attract the audience more when the light is turned on, showing the room change from dark to light to reveal the dead body, who is the female person within the storyline. This is viewed from behind the body to be similar to a point of view shot. The audience is put in the position of an onlooker through the pan shots of the majority of the plot, only changing vastly when the shot is behind the body. This has an impact on the audience as the shot of the body adds shock to the storyline for the entertainment of the audience. During the film of our opening sequence, we used camera equipment to capture the movement. This was a small handheld video recorder. At one point we used a large professional camera for several scenes, however the basic techniques used were the same. The small video camera was very limited. You could not perform professional focusing techniques or capture the sound in high quality, whereas this was possible on the large, more professional camera. Although this to carry around, as it was bulky and due to college rules we were not allowed to take it home, this meant we had to do with using the smaller camera most of the time. I had used a small video camera before at home, which gave me some acknowledgement of how the camera worked. Adding to this, the controls were very simple, allowing us to get the hang of using the camera quickly. On the other hand, I had not used a large camera before. This meant I had to learn through trial and error. Unfortunately, I could not get the hang of all the different settings without someone to help me, therefore we resorted back to using the small camera. When filming, our initial idea was to record it in a house. However, time constraints meant we had to stick to filming during college lessons. This meant we had to make the most of what we had around us, which was the college building. This proved tricky when filming in the small room where the woman was murdered, as it looked unrealistic. However, there was not a lot we could do about this. The editing software which we used was iMovie HD. This allowed us to place all our clips together to create one final video. The software meant we could add sound effects, music transitions, and take out parts of the recording which we did not want to use. This was really simple to use. After using Windows Movie Maker, which was more or less the same piece of software, I was able to use iMovie easy. GarageBand, on the other hand, was not so easy. I had never used or seen this software before, therefore I was new to every aspect of it. It was easy to use when shown the basics. From there I created the soundtrack from scratch. This was then exported as an MP3 and inserted into the iMovie Final Edit.
When planning the film noir, we researched into typical aspects of film noir genre and the typical target audience of this genre. We have also chosen a film noir each to analyse the opening sequence of. I've chosen the recently made 7 to individually analyse specific elements of. We analysed the use of different shots, lighting and costume among other elements. As we began to know what we wanted to include in our storyline, we made a mind map of these initial ideas. We then basically planned the storyline and created an animatic so we became more aware of the shots we would use. Our preliminary task was a good use of varied shots considering the length of the product. We used zooms, match on action and tracking shots. However, the range of the shots has improved as the film noir opening sequence is longer than the preliminary task, which gave us more chance to experiment with wider tracking shots, pan shots, match on action shots and extreme close-ups. The final product that we created is very successful at fulfilling the initial brief because it accurately follows the range of shots, sound and mise-en-scène that the brief outlined. The final product is also a success as when we developed our work into a rough cut, we gained some constructive criticism from members of our class which outlined that we needed to add extra speech into the story to make the storyline clearer. They also shown how we needed to make the sound more continuous in the sequence.